And we're in. All right. Glad to be in. To all the people that are be looking on YouTube, which this is not live, I'm recording, but I'm live here on TikTok. And I'm getting ready to record. It's D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. Find me at D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. D-B-O-Y West Coast Uncensored. Spelled without an S on for sure. Censored without an S, but with just a C, misspelled on purpose. And here on TikTok, this is our second live version, and for some reason I don't know why this can't handle. I read that TikTok, because I'm new to it, can handle more times than 10 minutes, that it can go longer. But when I don't see any way, and I'm going to have to deep dive longer, because this will cut off at 10 minutes, and you will not see the screen I'm going to do, because I'm going to share a screen, because we're going to go in today, and all you people on YouTube, get ready. I'm talking to TikTok at the same time, which is live. This is not live on YouTube. We're going to go in on the pharmaceutical companies, right? We're going to on the company, but not the companies now. We're going in when the change happened, and we're talking about Rockefeller. Yes, we're talking about Mr. Rockefeller and the change, or the hijack of medicine. And we have a video from a great group called Stellify today that will definitely go in and talk about it, when it happened, how it happened historically, what was done historically. Facts are facts. That's what I want, even before I start this video, because you guys won't see it here on the talk, but on the ticking the talk. But the reality is, what I'm talking about is the fact that everything's in disclosure. I just have a video that just came out showing the doctor confessing and talking about what the jibby jabby actually had in it, what it's done, and what's been hidden, that what it's done. And I wanted to everybody who had it, and this is not those of us who haven't, and definitely my community, we're not about here sheltering and saying, look at you. We welcome with open arms when you find out. But what I'm seeing is there's an elephant in the room on a deeper sense. And that elephant is, people really don't want to deal with this because of embarrassment, because of confession. And there's another aspect that's really hit me when you deal, especially in the politics, which we know here both sides are just the other side. One's heads, one's tails of the same metal. The same bird has one left wing and one right wing. We're getting down to nitty gritty stuff, right? Not just absorbing one side as the hijack. And doesn't mean at times both sides haven't told you the truth. I've mentioned that in former videos, but it doesn't mean they're in your best court. So my thing is that I've noticed. I wished I could put a background on TikTok, because here, what I'm recording here, of course, I have my background, beautiful background, is the fact, and go watch my videos fully on YouTube. But I am doing, since I'm on TikTok, more stuff here on TikTok. This is about the hijack of hijacked of petroleum medicine in the new modern medicine age, and how this took place, and how it was replacing things that cured and just were effective, and what this caused. This is what this video is going to be. I'm going to share a video on my video, which I can't hear, but I want to let people know, is I notice that people, because somebody tells you the truth, because you don't like them. So my question out there is your belief system, or is your belief system more important than the truth, or it just depends on who gives you the truth, dictates whether you accept the truth or not? Now, like I said, I'm not saying both are pure or nothing, but this side of what's happened is showing you in depth of things I've known for a long time, but most of the people don't know. In depth of what all these different things, whether the food, getting the coloring and the stuff out of the food, also the medicine, the modern medicine, which doesn't heal a soul. Never has, never will, wasn't meant to. You're a business. You need to come back to pay your whatever amount you pay for your revisit and your purchasing of these meds that just band-aid over the bullet wound in the long run. Facts, facts, facts. This is coming out. But some people won't accept it because it's the other side of the aisle of their political thoughts or agenda or how they feel. When it's truth. That's complete programming. When I understand that the programming has been around as long as before the we'll call it that, the M&Ms, the modern medicine. That's going to be our, like the jibby jab, the jab. We know what that is, the jibby jabby jooby jab. I got all kinds of code words because they used to cancel us. Now that we're not getting canceled because it's even out through the aspects of what's happening in the medical, right? It's not being... it's being said. Everything's in disclosure. There's no more calling people tinfoil hats anymore. And shout out to those tinfoil hats. You were telling the truth from the beginning because you were cranking it in the left field and right field pavilion while others said you were stupid. Some of us knew, either through our intuition or common sense, things were obvious to us. And this, even for me, politically, I knew both sides were the same side a long time ago. I just did a series on blue blood showing you how these people are aligned even through relations, blood relations, that all the presidents are related except one in history. Only one is not related, which tells me it's a blue blood system disguised as a government, giving you a left and a right wing and calling it a party like it's some kind of party. And why I want to say that is I'm giving TikTok its time, but I guess I don't have to go a full 10 before I turn this on. I just want everybody to know that whether the truth comes from that, like I have mentioned many times, in 2016, Trump said it was false news. It is. It always was. Doesn't mean he looked out the best for me in the long run. Biden walked out, who couldn't give you two thoughts while he was in office, but he said, well, get ready for the oligarchy. And he wasn't lying, but he wasn't looking out for the best for me because the oligarchy was already here. It's just not arriving. It was already here. It was just going to be another aspect of how this will work. And there's just a full disclosure about everything being told to us. I've known for a while, even within the food distribution in the United States, there's chemicals in our food that are not in Asia and Europe's food and considered toxins, poisons in their food. In Asia and Europe, consider toxins that they would never put in their food that we've been eating and wondering why we got a bunch of people obese because we got the highest obesity. Just be honest. See, this is the thing with being honest. Be honest, no matter what the truth is. Instead of, well, my political agenda didn't say it. No, both of them have said garbage, and let's be real. The left the last few years has been the garbage can pail dump. With some of the agendas pushing. It's just the real. It's facts are facts, and they don't care about your feelings. But truth stands alone. Just because somebody tells you the truth doesn't mean they got your back either. That truth will stand for itself too. So as we get started, this video will be the hijacking, and again, this will be by stellify. Great, really good. Really great aspect stellify is of sending and giving information, because my next two videos I will share about this and about Robert Steiner's prophecy about this connecting to what's happening now through other aspects we talk about here with the AI and also the almost discrediting your deep spiritual connection, who you are through AI pretending. Because for me, that's a whole different video and a whole different thing that I definitely go in on, that I'm observing through a conscious observation when I even deal with it on the level I deal with it in. And some apps can't even get me where I'm going. And stuff like that. But this is really going to deep dive on it, and I believe we're going to shut off here in a few seconds. Thank you guys for joining us here on TikTok, because I'm just starting, and we're going to close out because I guess it doesn't give me more than 10 minutes, and it's going to close out here in the 10-minute mark. And I want to say thank you guys, TikTok. But watch my video on YouTube, D-Boy West Coast Uncensored, and there will be more from TikTok. Thank you.
Film we're about to see.
Let me turn this off, you guys, for what's happening here.
It is a film to describe to you.
Okay, as that's going there. So we're going to go in. I filled my TikTok time with the talk because they're not seeing this unless I turn it around and put it here, but it's only 10 minutes. I read that it was more, so anybody knows, send me a message and we'll go more. But we're going to share this outstanding video by stellify about how Rockefeller hijacked modern medicine. Everything in disclosure. And let's rewind this a little bit. We might get a commercial or two. It's just 16 minutes, so let's go in.
The dawn of the 20th century marked a pivotal moment in history, an era on the cusp of groundbreaking innovations and transformative industries. Amidst this fervor, a name echoed through the corridors of power and wealth: John D. Rockefeller. His story began with oil, the black gold that fueled the burgeoning industrial revolution. As the 20th century unfolded, the world marveled at the wonders of modern science. For John D. Rockefeller, these advancements presented not just a scientific marvel, but a tantalizing business opportunity. If oil could be transformed into a myriad of products, why not medicine? At the dawn of the 20th century, the American medical landscape was a tapestry woven from diverse threads. Yet, amidst this eclectic mix, a new force was emerging: allopathy. Rockefeller saw allopathy as the future of healthcare, a future he was determined to shape according to his own vision.
It's hard to put into words the horrors that we
off.
witnessed every day during our time here. Entire families coming to the emergency department.
In 1910, a
Before
seemingly...
we go on, I've already did, and keep mentioning that we talked about the 1907 school board meeting by the same cat. Hijacked it with Frederick T. Gates. Yeah, Bill Gates, Bill Gates' grandfather, and Bill Gates is from where does he live? Seattle, where you have the biggest needle. Think about that. The biggest needle in the world is in Seattle, and that's where Bill Gates lives, and he pushed what we had the last 4 years too. He's part of the problemo, but this shows these are bloodlines doing it. And I had mentioned that the high school was Frederick T. Gates, Billy Boy's grandfather, and now we're talking with J.D. Rockefeller. Now we're getting into the medicine again. J.D. Oh yeah, and then they call the Beverly Hillbillies J.D. Clampetts. They're always throwing stuff at us, guys. Always.
Innocuous report commissioned by the Carnegie Foundation would become a pivotal weapon in John D. Rockefeller's quest to reshape American medicine. The Flexner Report, influenced by Rockefeller's vision, advocated for a standardized medical curriculum centered around the principles of allopathy. Medical schools that embraced allopathy found themselves handsomely rewarded with generous grants from the Rockefeller Foundation. With the Flexner Report serving as a catalyst, the landscape of American medicine underwent a profound transformation. Rockefeller's vision of an allopathic-dominated healthcare system, fueled by the profits of synthetic drugs, began to take shape. The seeds of a medical system reliant on synthetic drugs and controlled by pharmaceutical giants had been sown. With the foundations of allopathic dominance firmly in place, John D. Rockefeller turned his attention to dismantling the lingering threat posed by traditional and alternative healing modalities. Thus began a calculated and ruthless campaign of discredit, aimed at painting traditional remedies and their practitioners as unscientific, backward, and even dangerous. The campaign was relentless.
That which was effective.
Its message seeped.
Look at this guy. That which was effective. You talk about instilling deception programming, and this is, you know, I see this in harmonized with the school district in 1907 board meeting, right? We're talking this generally is around the same 15, 20 years of these two events. And then hijacking the schools, that this is an old system of the plant-based grown on earth medicine that healed folks. Yeah, and even the New York Times telling some warning. What's the warning? This is heavy. Real stuff. Thank you,
Into the
Stellify.
public consciousness, slowly eroding the trust and confidence
Programming.
that had long been placed in traditional healing practices. The campaign of discredit, while effective in swaying public opinion, was just one facet of Rockefeller's multi-pronged assault on traditional medicine. By strategically influencing legislation and exploiting the power of the state, Rockefeller aimed to criminalize the very act of practicing traditional healing modalities. The legal system,
Wow.
meant to protect the rights and freedoms of individuals, was instead wielded as a weapon to enforce conformity and suppress any challenge to the emerging pharmaceutical paradigm. John D. Rockefeller's campaign to discredit and dismantle traditional medicine was not limited to overt actions like propaganda and legal suppression. He understood that true control required shaping not just actions but beliefs, instilling a deep-seated skepticism towards anything that challenged the allopathic paradigm. The seeds of doubt, sown strategic.
Notice what they're saying at the seeds of doubt. There's this quote, and I think it was Adolf Hitler said, that if you tell somebody a lie long enough, they'll start believing it. And this is really, where do you get it from? This is way before World War II, and the Nazi Party. It's being done here. Propagation. It wasn't just a new thing. Some glad day in the now, just recently, it's been going on and being planned.
Strategically and nurtured over decades, have blossomed into a deeply ingrained skepticism towards anything that falls outside the realm of conventional allopathic medicine. As the 20th century marched forward, John D. Rockefeller's vision for American healthcare solidified. The public, bombarded with pro-allopathic messaging, embraced synthetic medicine. Traditional healing modalities were relegated to the fringes. Synthetic drugs marked a turning point in illness treatment. Pharmaceutical companies churned out new medications, each touted as a breakthrough. Doctors, trained in the allopathic model, embraced these new tools. The allure of synthetic drugs was undeniable. They offered quick fixes, a pill for every ill. This approach resonated with a society valuing convenience and efficiency. Traditional medicine seemed archaic and time-consuming. The knowledge of traditional healing practices began to fade. Herbal remedies were replaced by mass-produced pills. The ancient art of healing was slowly being forgotten. This shift had profound implications for the doctor-patient relationship. The holistic approach was replaced by a transactional model. Patients became
Here's that
consumers,
transactional model.
their ailments
Money.
reduced to symptoms. The human touch was eclipsed by the cold efficiency of the allopathic machine.
I've noticed this being a little older, even when I was a child going to the modern medicine, that they would go, put your tongue out and go, and you don't get that for years now. And I always wondered why were they doing that? And then I was going to, I went and got acupuncture from a healer, herbal healing, right? And they would do that. And I asked him, what do you learn by learning my tongue? She goes, the acupuncture goes, I can tell by looking at your tongue what area on your body's affected that I can do acupuncture on. Knowledge that's not being passed. Now you go in and go, oh, they're on the computer. You have this symptom that matches this pill. That's all they do. It just match through the AI or through the computer. in a system that has a program that matches illnesses with the medication, pharmaceutical. I mean, it's all obvious to me. I mean, I didn't have to be persuaded about what's came out recently for me, but many people are waking up, and I'm glad they are. I have to put this out.
The triumph of synthetic medicine, orchestrated by John D. Rockefeller, came at a hidden cost. Petrochemicals formed the foundation of this new medical paradigm, carrying a legacy of toxicity. Salvarsan, a miracle cure for syphilis, contained arsenic, a highly toxic element.
Hey guys, did you know some drivers are
I'll get
ditching
this
their
off.
car insurance and they're doing this instead? Now the reason why you may be overpaying for car insurance is because a big chunk of your monthly payment.
While effective,
That's probably good
Salvarsan
information.
caused severe side effects, including organ damage and death. The dangers of petrochemicals extended beyond pharmaceuticals. These compounds created products like plastics and pesticides permeating modern life. Initially hailed as progress, these products
Not
revealed
progress.
their dark side,
Congress.
leaching harmful chemicals. Plastics
Con job.
designed for convenience proved persistent, polluting oceans and infiltrating
Shipping.
the food chain. Rockefeller's petrochemical empire left a legacy of toxicity, a sobering reminder of progress's price. As the 20th century drew to a close, the landscape of American healthcare stood in stark contrast to earlier eras. John D. Rockefeller's vision of a medical system dominated by allopathic medicine had largely come to fruition. But at what cost? Advancements in technology and life-saving treatments were tempered by the limitations of the allopathic paradigm. Reliance on synthetic drugs often led to dependency and chronic diseases. Healthcare costs soared, burdening individuals and families. Access to quality care became increasingly unequal. The pharmaceutical industry faced growing scrutiny for its role in the opioid epidemic. The environmental cost of Rockefeller's petrochemical legacy was staggering. Plastic pollution emerged as a global crisis, threatening marine life and food chains. The question of whether
Definitely,
progress
the
justifies the
marine
hidden
life is
costs
affected.
remains complex. Rockefeller's medical monopoly serves as a cautionary tale of progress divorced from ethical considerations. The early 20th century witnessed a profound shift in the landscape of medicine, a shift orchestrated in no small part by the ambition and influence of John D. Rockefeller. His unwavering belief in the power of petrochemicals, coupled with his relentless pursuit of profit, had propelled synthetic drugs to the forefront of healthcare, relegating traditional healing modalities to the shadows. Yet, as the decades passed, a troubling paradox began to emerge. The very substances that had revolutionized medicine, those hailed as miracles of modern science, were increasingly implicated in a growing epidemic of chronic diseases.
It created a
Petrochemicals, the building blocks of synthetic drugs, and countless other products that had come to define modern life, proved to be a double-edged sword. While they possessed often therapeutic potential, they also harbored hidden dangers, their long-term effects on human health, and the environment poorly
I have to interject and stop for a minute. This is good stuff. I know you would agree. So what we have here is, through this petroleum modern medicine, great thing, it created more diseases and turmoil within our bodies. I mean, facts. I know that Native American Indian tribes have said they didn't have these diseases before certain folks arrived, right? And it isn't about the folks, it's about the 0.001% who control the narrative, because not all them folks have the narrative. Let's get that out of the way. But the reality is, proof's in the pudding, and the truckloads of pudding are pulling up. But many will be, because my side didn't tell me. That's not the truth. It's not about the sides. It's about the truth. And it's also not about the truth. Now, these guys I trust, stellify, but where it's coming from, not necessarily as your best look at. They may be transitioning to something else that may not be your best interest, but showing you what's been done to us for money, power. I mean, the Rockefeller sounds more and more like, and we people praised him. It was a freaking demon, man. Proof's in the pudding. I've known this for a while, but anyways, this is don't let me rant. Let's listen. Let's listen to them, or there's some more left of this.
Understood and often ignored in the rush to embrace progress. The proliferation of plastics, a direct outgrowth of the petrochemical revolution, serves as a stark example of this paradox. These versatile materials, initially hailed for their durability, affordability, and seemingly endless applications, quickly infiltrated every aspect of daily life, from food packaging to children's toys. Yet, as their use exploded, so too did concerns about their potential toxicity. Plastics, designed to be durable and long-lasting, proved highly resistant to degradation in the environment. They accumulated in landfills, littered landscapes, and polluted oceans, breaking down into smaller and smaller fragments, but never truly disappearing. These microplastics, as they became known, infiltrated food chains, ending up in the stomachs of marine animals,
That's
and
what's happening
ultimately
now.
on the
That's
dinner plates
the process
of
we're seeing.
unsuspecting humans.
Check this out.
Yeah.
I'm going to show you how
Get this
I
off
can
as soon
afford
as I
this
can.
F-150.
All right, guys, so check this out. $178 was what I was.
The health consequences of this pervasive plastic pollution are still being unravelled, but mounting evidence suggests a disturbing link to a range of chronic diseases. Studies have linked exposure to certain chemicals found in plastics, such as BPA and phthalates, to hormonal disruptions, reproductive problems, developmental issues in children, and an increased risk of certain cancers.
Increased with cancer,
The
autism.
legacy of John D. Rockefeller's petrochemical empire extends far beyond plastics. It is a toxic inheritance etched into our bodies, passed down through generations. Pesticides and chemicals contaminate our food, water.
Remember, Bayer's
and air.
in connection with
They
this.
seep into groundwater, contaminating wells and aquifers. They drift on the wind, settling on homes and schools. Accumulating in fatty tissues, their effects magnify up the food chain. Children are particularly vulnerable, facing risks of neurodevelopmental disorders and cancers.
Seeing
The
that.
industrial agricultural model
The lack of
sacrifices
testosterone in
health
men.
for short-term
Yeah.
profits.
And the autism.
The true cost of this legacy is rising chronic diseases and ecosystem degradation. The saga of John D. Rockefeller's foray into medicine stands as a stark reminder that the pursuit of profit, when left unchecked, can cast a long and pervasive shadow. His ambition, while undeniably instrumental in shaping the modern world, also illuminated the
But giving them
potential
praise.
for
None deserved
exploitation
in anything.
and manipulation that
far as
lurks
I'm
within
concerned.
systems driven solely by financial gain. The echoes of his medical monopoly reverberate through the corridors of our healthcare system even today, shaping the way we perceive illness, the treatments we seek, and the very nature of the doctor-patient relationship. The pharmaceutical industry, born from the ashes of Rockefeller's carefully orchestrated dismantling of traditional medicine, continues to wield immense power and influence. Its marketing prowess is undeniable, its message seeping into every aspect of our lives, from television commercials to doctor's office visits. The promise of a pill for every ill, first whispered in the early 20th century, has become a deafening roar, drowning out alternative voices and perpetuating a cycle of dependency on synthetic solutions. The cost of this dependency is measured not just in dollars and cents, but in the compromised health of individuals and the erosion of trust in the healing power of nature. The rise of chronic diseases many linked to environmental toxins and lifestyle factors, stands as a stark testament to the limitations of a medical model that prioritizes symptom management over addressing root causes. The control over medical education, so strategically secured by Rockefeller through his philanthropic endeavors.
And it wasn't just that. She's talking the medical field. This goes into the 1907 school board meeting with all education, J.D. Rockefeller. This isn't just by, oh, let me make money. This is planned. I know he's kind of like painting the picture of being aware and this. No, I call him out what I feel that I'm not the guy doing it in stellify is what Rockefeller is to me. I pull no punches. I'm not going to call a spade. I'm going to call a spade a spade. What I said earlier applies. This was planned on every angle to the education system, through the medical system. Now you have a bunch of people going to school for 8 years, 10 years, doctors, and don't know anything about healing. It's just push a button on your computer to match the symptom, and we give you a pill for every ill. Reminds me of the song from Rolling Stones, Mother's Little Helper.
Continues to shape the way future generations of healthcare practitioners are trained. The emphasis on allopathic principles, while undeniably valuable in certain contexts, often comes at the expense of a broader understanding of holistic health and the interconnectedness of mind, body, and spirit. This narrow focus can limit the range of treatment options considered, leaving patients with a sense of powerlessness and a reliance on a system that may not always serve their best interests.
Never does.
Crime is down. Jobs are up.
To get this off.
Our economy is strong. America, we are on our way.
The story of John D. Rockefeller's medical monopoly, while disheartening in its implications, also carries within it a seed of hope. By understanding the historical forces that have shaped our current healthcare system, we can begin to reclaim our health, empowering ourselves with knowledge and seeking out alternatives that resonate with our values and priorities. The first step in this journey of reclamation is awareness. By educating ourselves about the history of medicine, the rise of the pharmaceutical industry, and the suppression of traditional healing modalities, we can begin to see through the veil of propaganda and make informed choices about our health and well-being. The internet, for all its flaws, has become a powerful tool for accessing information and connecting with like-minded individuals who are questioning the status quo. A wealth of resources exists, from websites and blogs to documentaries and books that offer alternative perspectives on health and healing, exploring the potential of nutrition, herbal medicine, mindfulness practices, and other holistic approaches. Beyond information gathering, reclaiming our health requires a shift in mindset. It requires embracing a proactive approach to well-being, one that recognizes the interconnectedness of our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual selves. It means listening to our bodies, honoring our intuition, and seeking out practitioners who treat us as whole beings, not just a collection of symptoms. This shift towards a more holistic and empowered approach to healthcare will not happen overnight. It will require a conscious effort to challenge ingrained beliefs, to question the messages we have been bombarded with, and to explore alternatives that may have been dismissed or marginalized by the dominant medical paradigm. The journey may be challenging, but the rewards are immeasurable. By reclaiming our health, we not only improve our own well-being, but also contribute to a collective shift towards a more just, equitable, and sustainable healthcare system, one that honors the wisdom of traditional healing practices while embracing the advancements of modern science.
All right, that's actually ends it. And that definitely a powerful video, very powerful video as we close out. Thank you guys on YouTube for allowing me to go in a little 10-minute to allow this for definitely for TikTok. I'll find a way to do this in a more that to get to it, because this could have been a shorter, but I'm trying to get acquainted with TikTok and hopefully bring more people in that's open to knowledge and will come in and get after it and be open. But you guys have a great day, and this is very, very enlightening because it's in full disclosure what happened the last 4 years, but now we're looking at what Jesse said. Now we need to look at all of these scenes, the Baccarat scenes, if you know what I mean. And I don't deny it because we have a huge, I heard from today in a study, 1 in 36, hear what I'm saying, children being born is autistic. This goes from, was it 1 in 100,000 in the 80s or over 100,000? I could be wrong on that number, but it's thousands to what we have now. And I think out of 100 for boys, so you're looking at, you start breaking that down, you start seeing the numbers of like 36, 1 in 36. So you would say that would be like 2, almost 3 with that, with children. But then boys are 4 in 100, which means it's an increase in boys over girls. So I'm telling you, the stuff's coming out. There's a lot of disclosure of what we've seen and been through, and all the myriads of lies that have been stacked upon on us from a game called Monopoly, which is telling you they've been running a monopoly and it's on your back. But anyways, you guys have a great day, and I will follow up with a few more. I like stellify because the videos aren't real long. They're perfect to me. And I'm going to have one about some things that we've talked about, Mr. Steiner here before, Robert Steiner. And I got a video coming up, the next one. We're going to go into his experience and when he went into his prophecy mode, because he would do that about these days, and you're going to go, whoa, it's happening. Yes, you will see this, and what he was even talking about in the past to what we see, recent future, and now. You guys have a great day. Keep on it. It's time to wake, and don't let one side or that, because this isn't left or right, my channel. But if you heard it from the other side you don't like, why do you not like truth? Like, why did they vote yesterday? I know this is staged. A lot of this is the stage crap. But why did they vote yesterday to keep men playing women's sports from high school to college? Why? Why would that get 0 votes from one side? And it's just like, this is common sense stuff that I'm talking about that's happened. Just common sense. Common sense is not too common these days. But you keep your common sense, which is a connective vibe, and connective, it will become common amongst the connective. You guys have a great day.